What if the musical ambition of bands like Yes, Genesis, and Pink Floyd was fused with unmistakably bold Christian faith? Long-form songs, epic storytelling, concept albums, all centered on Christ, the gospel, and biblical truth. Christian progressive rock is one of the most fascinating and frankly often overlooked corners of Christian music. For decades, gifted believers have used the language of progressive rock to explore faith, scripture, and spiritual journey with creativity and depth. And the result has been some truly extraordinary albums. In this video, man, I'm fired up because I'm going to explore 10 of what I'm calling essential Christian progressive rock albums and share them with you.
Rocking you up for Jesus Christ with classic style hard rock music and practical Bible teaching.
Now, just before we jump in, let's all take a second to get on the same page and define what is it that makes prog rock prog rock. Progressive rock grew out of the rock music of the 1960s and 1970s when musicians began to use that art form in a more ambitious way. They started writing longer compositions with more in-depth, introspective lyrics and storytelling, more complex arrangements, out-of-the-box, unusual time signatures and key changes. They masterfully blended in keyboards and mellotrons, wind instruments like flutes, orchestration, and layered guitars. And we already mentioned storytelling, but man, some of these concept albums were just masterful in telling this long-form story from beginning, track one, the first opening bars, all the way through to the end of the story at the end of the album. It was a listening experience. Prog rock is really countercultural today because it asks the listener to sit down and embark on a musical journey. You know, we're not talking about a 2.5-minute pop song here. We're talking about a piece of music that is masterfully orchestrated and arranged and put together for a purpose. It's meant to impact you and move you. And I'm sure you can already tell, it makes a perfect vehicle for exploring spiritual themes. One commenter on another video that I did on progressive Christian rock said, you know, listening to progressive Christian rock oftentimes feels like being carried away into heavenly places. That's the kind of music we're talking about in this video. So with that in mind, in no particular order, let's dive in and explore these 10 masterful Christian progressive rock albums. One quick note before we start, these are not Christian progressive metal albums. I did a video on Christian progressive metal, and I'll leave the link to that video in the description below, okay, if you want to check that out. But these are prog rock albums. Album number 1, The Similitude of a Dream by the Neal Morse Band. This is a massive double concept album. It's inspired by a classic piece of Christian literature, John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. It's filled with epic, progressive storytelling and song structures, virtuosic musicianship, and spiritual journey from salvation to perseverance. Neal Morse has become one of the most visible voices of modern Christian prog, and albums like this show why.
Gotta get out of the city of destruction. Don't wait another day.
Album number 2, Beyond These Shores by Iona. Iona blends progressive rock with Celtic atmosphere. Uilleann pipes, whistles, layered guitars, and absolutely just amazing soaring vocals of Joanne Hogg.
Beyond these shores.
The album explores themes of faith, history, and redemption within the context of just a breathtaking musical landscape. Many Iona fans describe their music as deeply worshipful, and I would totally agree with that.
Consider the flowers of the field and the beauty.
Album number 3, Lex Rex by Glass Hammer. If you love the symphonic progressive sounds of bands like Yes and Genesis, you're going to find a lot to love about Glass Hammer. Lex Rex is a sweeping concept album inspired by the idea of Christ as the true king. Rich keyboard textures, epic song structures, and storytelling that unfolds like a musical epic. Many fans think of this album as a cornerstone for modern Christian prog.
Came the last night and the watch was his, standing guard at
Album number 4, Light at the End of the Tunnel by Agilon. Agilon helped to define Christian prog in the 1990s. This album features long compositions filled with lush keyboards and intricate guitar work. But what really stands out is the spiritual message. Lyrics that openly wrestle with faith, hope, and perseverance. For many listeners, this album was their introduction to the world of Christian prog.
And once again the illusion of permanence.
Album number 5, Mimi's Magic Moment by Salem Hill. Salem Hill combines theatrical storytelling with classic prog rock structures. Mimi's Magic Moment is part rock opera and part symphonic prog journey, with layered vocal harmonies and cinematic feel throughout. Their albums often explore personal faith and redemptive stories.
Betrayed by promises of old.
Album number 6, White Horse by Michael Omartian. Released in the mid-1970s, this album shows how early Christian artists were already experimenting with progressive musical elements. This album is loaded with rich keyboards, orchestral arrangements, and sophisticated songwriting. Many listeners consider this album to be one of the first Christian albums to explore progressive territory.
Jeremiah, how great your pain must be.
Album number 7, On My Way to the Sun by John Elefante. John Elefante is, of course, known for his time with Kansas. Many have said that with this album, John delivered one of the most ambitious Christian rock albums of the era.
And this is how the story goes. You must believe it all, my friend, from the beginning to the end.
Big arrangements, layered instrumentation. It's a perfect blend of classic rock and progressive structures. Album number 8, Seeds of Change by Kerry Livgren. Kerry Livgren is another veteran from Kansas. As a matter of fact, he was one of the founding members and primary songwriters for the band. And when he became a follower of Jesus, man, he brought his amazing flair for progressive rock right into the Christian world. Released after his conversion to Christ, this album brings just an amazing blend of classic progressive ambition and bold spiritual conviction. Complex arrangements, strong melodic writing, and lyrics that come straight out of Kerry's lived experience that wrestle with truth, deception, and surrender to God. Album number 9, Signs of Change by After the Fire. Before they became known as a new wave band, Signs of Change released this fascinating early album. It's loaded with amazing progressive musical elements and strong biblical themes.
Now that I found this is right, I guess that I better give up this fight.
It's yet another example of how Christian artists in the mid-70s were already experimenting with many of the same progressive musical elements as many of their secular counterparts. And album number 10, what a fitting title to end this list with, Play It, Maestro by Function. This Swedish band released just this one album, but it became a hidden gem among Christian progressive fans, laced with dark, complex chord progressions, Genesis-style arrangements, and lyrics that openly wrestle with spiritual truth.
God has got a purpose with his life.
Play It, Maestro is proof that even underground bands made significant contributions to this unique subgenre. Well, friend, I really enjoyed putting that video together for you. I hope it was a blessing to you. And listen, if the Pastor Brad Rocks channel is a blessing to you and you'd like to support the work that I'm doing here, consider buying me a cup of coffee, man. It's really simple to do. The link is down in the description. I appreciate your support so much. And now I've got 4 of the albums that were featured in this video right here on the screen. Click on one of them, man. Let it rock you up. Enjoy checking out those albums and keep your eyes on Jesus.